Good morning from Ho Chi Minh City. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Xin chào. Best wishes to all of us. Welcome to webinar Indonesia-Vietnam Business Opportunities to Accelerate Economy Recovery, particularly on creative economy and digital economy. His Excellency Sandiaga Uno, Minister of Tourism and Creative Economy of the Republic of Indonesia. His Excellency Denny Abdi, Ambassador of the Republic of Indonesia to Vietnam. Honorable Dr. Miftah Farid, Director of Export Development, Ministry of Trade of the Republic of Indonesia. Honorable Ms. Boiti Than An, Deputy Director General of Viet Trade, Ministry of Industry and Trade, Vietnam. Konsul General of the Republic of Indonesia in Ho Chi Minh City, Mr. Agustaviano Sofjan. Distinguished speaker, moderators, participants, ladies and gentlemen, whether you joining us on site or virtually from everywhere in Vietnam and Indonesia. First of all, on behalf of this webinar organizer, I wish you all good health during this challenging time while we are still in grips of the pandemic. My name is Adi Wardito. I will be the MC for today's event, which is organized by the Consulate General of the Republic of Indonesia in Ho Chi Minh City. This webinar will further explore opportunities and deepen cooperation between Indonesia and Vietnam, especially in the field of creative economy and digital economy. By attending this webinar, we hope that all participants who are Indonesia business representative residing in Indonesia or in Vietnam, as well as the Vietnamese business representative, association and government officials in Ho Chi Minh City and Southern Vietnam will be able to further comprehend the outlook of Indonesia's creative economy industry and digital economy. Excellencies, distinguished speakers, ladies and gentlemen, we will now proceed with the welcoming remarks delivered by Consul General of the Republic of Indonesia in Ho Chi Minh City, Mr. Agustaviano Sofjan.
Minister of Tourism and Creative Economy of the Republic of Indonesia, His Excellency Bapak Sandiaga Uno. Ambassador of the Republic of Indonesia to Vietnam, His Excellency Bapak Denny Abdi. Distinguished speakers, Dr. Miftah Farid from the Ministry of Trade of the Republic of Indonesia, Boiti Than An from Viet Trade, Ministry of Industry and Trade of Vietnam. Dear participants, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to welcome you all at this webinar on Indonesia-Vietnam business opportunities to accelerate economic recovery. This two-day webinar will highlight business opportunities, especially in the creative economy and the digital sector. We will have the opportunity to hear updates on Indonesia's trade potentials as follow-up from the Trade Expo Indonesia Digital Edition 2021. And furthermore, updates on business opportunities in Vietnam. Our session today will focus on hospitality industry and culinary sector. While on the second day, we will focus on the opportunity and challenges in the digital economy and followed by the financing aspects to support small-medium enterprises and startups. The theme of the webinar fits well with the International Year on Creative Economy for Sustainable Development 2021 and the advancement of digitalization, which now has become a game changer and necessity, particularly when we are still facing the pandemic. Our opportunities for cooperation between Indonesia and Vietnam in these important sectors are evident. Creative economy in both countries are rich. in culture, and with huge young population. These are foundations for the development of creative industries, from art and culinary to application development industry. Value-added creative economy industries would contribute to increased GDP and employment. In the digital economy, a recent report by Nikkei Asia underlined that Southeast Asia digital economy is the fastest growing in the world. ASEAN digital economy is projected to hit $1 trillion by 2030. Together with the Indonesian Embassy in Hanoi and the Consulate General Office in Ho Chi Minh City, we will undertake roles to identify business opportunities, supporting efforts to mitigate economic impacts due to the pandemic. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to convey 3 key points. First, this webinar aims not only to connect business to business, but also connecting people to people, building network for collaboration, information sharing, and building capacities on best practices. Second, indeed, the COVID-19 pandemic has brought challenges, but at the same time, opportunities. Being adaptive, creative, and innovative in this new normal would open up opportunities. Adaptability, creativity, and innovation will be an engine for economic recovery for both countries and the region. Third, moving forward in 2022, we shall be optimistic in building collaboration between countries. Recover together, recover stronger. Taking this opportunity, I'm very pleased to announce that the Consul General Office in Ho Chi Minh City is introducing a new media business of communication, the Xin Chau Apa Kabar newsletter, to outreach business communities and other stakeholders. Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, and dear participants, in closing my brief remarks, I hope that this webinar would serve its purposes and contribute on creating a fresh impetus for the post-pandemic recovery in both countries as well as the region. I thank you. Terima kasih. Simkan.
Thank you, Pak Konjen, for delivering the welcoming remarks. Excellencies, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, according to Indonesia Law number 24 of 2019 on the creative economy, one of the subsectors in the field of creative economy is culinary industry. When it comes to food, Indonesia, just like Vietnam, we also have many variety of food cuisines. There are also some Indonesian entrepreneurs here in Ho Chi Minh City who keep struggling to running their business amidst the pandemic. Managing the restaurant with some delicacies of Indonesia cuisines. Let's take a look at a short video presenting the profile of 3 restaurants serving Indonesian menu: Villa Song, Bakmi Restaurant, and Vindo Restoran. Such a nice video. I believe it can encourage other entrepreneurs to do the same thing here in Vietnam. Next, we kindly invite the Ambassador of the Republic of Indonesia to Vietnam, who is now joining us virtually from Hanoi, His Excellency Denny Abdi, to deliver his remarks. And Excellency, the screen is yours.
Thank you, Ph.D. Can you hear my voice clearly? Okay. All right. First of all, let me introduce myself. For those who I'm still new in Vietnam. Just started my job in February. I'm here with my team. And of course, I would like to recognize Bapak Sandiaga Uno. I think he will be with us very soon, yeah, Pak Konjen, our Minister of Tourism and Creative Economy, Mr. Agustaviano Sofjan, our new Konsul Jenderal in Ho Chi Minh City, Ms. Bui Thi Tan Ang, Deputy General of Viettrade, and Dr. Miftah Farid, Director of Export Product Development, Ministry of Trade and Republic of Indonesia. Distinguished speakers and guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Xin chào to my Vietnamese colleagues. Let me start by congratulating the Consul General and his team for organizing this 2 days webinar. In the last 2 years, countries have been trying hard to fight the COVID-19 pandemic, including in Indonesia and Vietnam. We do all we can. Everyone from government officials, doctors, nurses, scientists, entrepreneurs, parents, children are working very hard, side by side, to fight this virus. There are a lot of progresses compared to situation last year. Most importantly, the availability of vaccines and international cooperation and solidarity to help and support each other. However, most governments are no longer looking for a zero-case scenario, but to adopt and live in the new normal environment where the virus will still be with us for a while. In fact, the key element in the current strategy is vaccination program. As per 21st November 2021, Indonesia has administered 134 million first dose vaccine and 89 million complete doses. We have to work harder to achieve the 70% until 80% vaccination target. Now, let me talk about the tourism industry. Tourism sector is an important pillar of our country's economic development. In 2019, Indonesia and Vietnam welcomed 16 million foreign tourists and 18 million foreign tourists in Vietnam. After almost 2 years of closure, some countries have announced a plan to reopen the economy and in parallel ensuring pandemic prevention. Indonesia has announced plan to reopen island of Bali to vaccinated international visitors in November 2021, while Vietnam has also announced the reopening the tourism sector, starting with a pilot program for fully vaccinated international tourists to Phu Quoc Island in November 2021. Okay, let me read my previous paragraph. To facilitate vaccinated international travelers, we need to ensure 2 things. First, mutual recognition of COVID-19 certificate, and second, interoperability of contact tracing application between countries. For example, in Indonesia, we use the Peduli Lindungi mobile apps, while Vietnam has the PC COVID. These 2 mobile applications should work together and can read each other, travelers from each country. And as a member of ASEAN, we can also make use of the ASEAN Travel Corridor Arrangement Framework to facilitate essential businesses and official travels. And with a strong cooperation and interoperability, Indonesia and Vietnam can extend the framework not only to facilitate business and official, but we can also extend this for tourism purposes. Now let me touch upon the outlook on Indonesia-Vietnam bilateral relations. Indonesia and Vietnam need to continue the implementation of strategic partnership, in particular on the economic sector. Vietnam is Indonesia's #4 largest trading partner in ASEAN and top 9 major partners in the world. In less than 10 years, the value of trade has tripled from $3.3 billion in 2010 to $9.1 billion in 2019. And I have full confidence that we will reach the target of $10 billion this year, inshallah. And the total trade, because the total trade in 2021, from January to October this year, already achieved $9.2 billion, a 41% surge compared to the same period last year. I must emphasize that even in the increasing challenges to operation due to the disruption in logistic and global supply chains caused by the global pandemic, our bilateral trade maintained strong performance. Looking to the future bilateral cooperation, we have to focus our attention to several potential sectors. In my observation, there are 3 potential sectors that we have to pay attention to. Number 1 is fishery industry. Number 2, high value-added technology. And number 3, digital economy. On fishery cooperation, our bilateral trade in 2020 is around $144 million. I think this is still relatively low compared to our potential. The sea areas in Indonesia at around 5.8 million kilometers square, with the coastline at around 95,000 kilometers. Fisheries production capacity in 2020 was about 7.7 million metric tons, while sea areas in Vietnam is around 700,000 kilometers square, with coastline at around 3,200 kilometers. Fisheries production capacity in 2020 in Vietnam was about 8.4 million metric tons. So these are our potentials that can we achieve if we focus our attention to this fishery industry. Number 2, high value-added technology. High-tech sector is the key factor that drives productivity growth, and competitiveness of a country, in particular for Indonesia and Vietnam, with big population and rich with young talents. We have to build strong ecosystem for research and innovation that will bring our young and smart people to produce as much as possible new invention for our industry. So this is number 2 sector that we need to pay attention to. If we fail to do this, our stronger purchasing power, big population, then we have to spend a lot of money to import products from other countries. So that's why for Indonesia and Vietnam, this value-added technology sector is something that we need to pay attention to. And number 3 is digital economy. Responses to the COVID-19 pandemic have accelerated the adoption of digital technologies. Many consumers, companies, industries, and the banking sectors have moved dramatically towards online platform. For Indonesia, with the exceptionally fast development in the e-commerce segment, the digital economy is projected to grow almost 50% in 2021, estimated value worth of 70 billion, an increase from 47 billion in 2020. Traveloka, Gojek Vietnam, and Kian Guru are among attractive innovation in digital economy cooperation between our 2 countries. To end my speech today, let me conclude by saying that as 2 large developing countries in Southeast Asia, Indonesia and Vietnam's economy represent 45% of the ASEAN economy altogether. Looking at the positive growth trend in our 2 countries, Indonesia and Vietnam could be very well representing 60% of the region's GDP in the coming years. Both countries could be the engine of rapid regional growth after the pandemic. Therefore, we must capitalize on this potential by focusing on the right strategy for cooperation, and certainly we need to work hard hand in hand with the private sectors to achieve these goals. I wish everyone here and in Indonesia stay safe during the COVID-19 pandemic and have a successful discussion. Thank you and singkaman.
Thank you, Pak Dubes. Excellencies, distinguished speakers, participants, ladies and gentlemen. Next, I have a very honor to invite the Minister of Tourism and Creative Economy of the Republic of Indonesia, His Excellency Sandiaga Uno, to deliver his keynote speech. Joining us virtually from Indonesia, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome His Excellency Sandiaga Uno.
Thank you. Thank you for the kind invitations. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, Om Swastiastu. Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan. Greetings for us all from the city of Makassar in Sulawesi, in the eastern part of Indonesia. His Excellency Consul General of the Republic of Indonesia in Ho Chi Minh City, Mr. Agustaviano Sofjan, His Excellency, I should say First Ambassador of the Republic of Indonesia to Socialist Republic of Vietnam, my apology, His Excellency Denny Abdi. Thank you so much, Pak Dubes, honorable speakers in this webinar, all participants, together with my Deputy Chairman of Digital Economy and Creative Economy, Mr. Muhammad Nil El Imam. We are very delighted to join you from Makassar, South Sulawesi. First of all, let us praise God Almighty for the blessings showered upon us so we can virtually gather here today in this very insightful event called Indonesia-Vietnam Business Opportunities to Accelerate Economic Recovery, hosted by the Vietnam Consulate General of the Republic of Indonesia. Hopefully, everyone is staying safe and healthy. We know that the COVID-19 pandemic caused havoc on both countries, Indonesia and Vietnam, with the tourism and creative economy being the hardest hit. However, as Prime Minister Xi met with President Jokowi in April this year, they have discussed measures to reach the two-way trade target of $10 billion this year, up 22% from 2020, as part of the economic recovery efforts. This is a positive signal coming from both countries in collaborating together for expanding business and economic opportunities. To support this, Vietnam and Indonesia agreed to resume flights and facilitate direct flights between Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City to Jakarta, operated by Vietnamese Airlines and Vietnam. This will hopefully not only increase the volume of tradable goods and products, but also people mobility and tourist arrivals. Pandemic trade, digital and online realm. Consumers are increasingly active in the digital sphere, from shopping and entertainment to transportation, health, and travel services. Nearly everything is digitally available and utilized. In fact, the potentials of Indonesia's digital economy is proven by the number of internet users, as many as 202.6 million people, with the value of Indonesia's digital trade transactions reaching more than $18 billion in 2020 and could increase to $23.5 billion in 2021. While Vietnam internet users amounted to an estimated 72.5 million, equivalent to more than 70% of the population, with transaction value in the digital payments reaching $11.6 billion in 2020. This is an immense potential that both countries must take advantage of in expanding business opportunities. As an example, Indonesia carried out various programs, including stimulus provisions for micro, small, medium enterprises to assist their survival capability in the midst of a pandemic. The stimulus, which is a series of pride of Indonesia's products, was given by the government. We call it Gerakan Nasional Bangga Buatan Indonesia to encourage sale transactions on digital platforms for national creative products. And these national creative products, in particular, creative economy players within the fashion, craft, and culinary subsectors. During the pandemic, the subsectors of the creative economy that were able to grow were applications and game developers, as well as televisions and radio as people stay more at home. There has been a surge in the growth of subscribers for over-the-top OTT media and streaming services, thus becoming an extensive opportunity for digital content creators to be more innovative. In addition, for the development of Indonesia culinary subsector, with the intentions of supporting numerous small and micro businesses, the Indonesia Spice of the World program serves to expand the marketing and sales of Indonesia's processed foods, seasoning products, and spices. Moreover, it also strengthened the Indonesian culinary industry by promoting Indonesian cuisines and restaurants abroad through gastro diplomacy. To conclude, I would like to express my sincere appreciations for the initiations of this event. This is a substantial networking platform for learning, sharing, awareness raising, and motivation between Indonesia and Vietnam. I wish you all a fruitful webinar as I also enjoy Vietnamese food like pho, with hopes of insightful ideas and applicable initiatives coming from this event. May God always give us strength to continue to synergize and collaborate in reviving businesses, in particular micro, small, medium enterprises. And let me call upon all of us present here to revamp trade relations, to revitalize and reopening job opportunities for the socio-economic recovery for both Indonesia and Vietnam post-pandemic. I thank you all. Come on. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Om Santi, Santi, Santi Om.
Thank you, Pak Menteri.
Mas Menteri.
Thank you very much, Pak Dubes. Thank you very much, Pak Konjen. Thank you very much, Pak Miftah Farid. And thank you very much, Pak Silalahi Horas. Thank you very much, Pak Erisman.
Yeah, for your information, in Indonesia, we usually call His Excellency Sandiaga Uno as Mas Menteri, which in Vietnamese meant Anh Bộ Trưởng, since he still looks very young, maybe the same age as me. Very well, as we are really honored to have Mas Menteri in the opening of this webinar, we will now proceed to the photo opportunity. On the count of 3, please don't forget to smile. 1, 2, 3. Again, please. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you so much. The next, we will have a photo session with participants and speakers on site. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Again, please. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, before concluding this opening session, I'm very pleased to invite you all in witnessing the most anticipated moment, none other than the launching of the new release newsletter of the Consulate General of the Republic of Indonesia. It is called Sincau, Apa Kabar newsletter. This newsletter is the new communication media of the Consulate General to, to outreach business community and other related community here in Ho Chi Minh City and or other part of Vietnam, especially southern part of Vietnam. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, once again, please welcome Consul General of the Republic of Indonesia in Ho Chi Minh City, Mr. Agustaviano Sofjan.
Minister, Excellency, distinguished speakers, ladies and gentlemen. Southeast Asia has been one of the fastest growing regions in the world. Ho Chi Minh City, as the heart of economy and business in Vietnam, like many other cities throughout ASEAN, contributes significant growth of the region and the world. Together with the Indonesian Embassy in Hanoi, the Indonesian Consulate General in Ho Chi Minh City, as representatives of the government of the Republic of Indonesia, would like to reiterate our commitment to further supporting the economic collaboration between the two countries, especially strengthening in trade and investment. Hence, we need many channels to bridge the communication and cooperation. Today, with a new spirit of friendship and cooperation to accelerate economic recovery, I'm delightful to introduce our new release newsletter, namely Sincau Apa Kabar newsletter. Ladies and gentlemen, I will now present to you the launching of the Sincau Apa Kabar newsletter as a new communication media business of the Indonesian Consulate General in Ho Chi Minh City.
Indonesia and Vietnam's relations are currently at the highest level, that is, strategic partnership. A well-established cooperation between Vietnam and Indonesia is flourishing even more. The relationship between the two countries stems from the friendship of two great people in the history of Vietnam and Indonesia, President Ho Chi Minh and President Sukarno. The bilateral traditional friendship and cooperations have then been nurtured and developed by generations of leaders and peoples of the two countries. Together with the Embassy of the Republic of Indonesia in Hanoi, the Consulate General of the Republic of Indonesia in Ho Chi Minh City stands ready to support and maintain friendly relations with the government, officials, partners, and all relevant parties. Through promotions and informations that will be disseminated not only by social media but also the new released newsletter. Aside from Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, the Consul General is now releasing monthly newsletter Sincau Apa Kabar newsletter. This newsletter will be a new communication media that bridges the Consulate General as the representative of the government of Indonesia with business community in southern part of Vietnam. From Indonesia to Vietnam and from Vietnam to Indonesia. Let's continue making history and build a greater future together.
Moment of the new media, Sincau, Apa Kabar newsletter. I believe this could be another fresh start for further deepen relation between our two countries. Ladies and gentlemen, as the opening session has just been concluded, we will now comment to the first session of the webinar. There will be two topics, which are Indonesia-Vietnam updates and lesson learned from culinary sector or food and beverage in hospitality industry. We will have distinguished speakers from Ministry of Trade of the Republic of Indonesia and from Ministry of Industry and Trade of Vietnam, who will talk about many updated information from both countries regarding current business opportunities. As for the second topic, there will be three distinguished Indonesian speakers who will share their experience in coping the challenges amid the pandemic while running their business in culinary sector here in Ho Chi Minh City. After these two sessions will be moderated by Ms. Soneta Asmara, the Counselor for Economic Affairs of the Consulate General of the Republic of Indonesia in Ho Chi Minh City. During this session, all participants may address comments or questions on Zoom chat, or you may also use the raise hand feature on the platform. Please keep in mind that if you would like to ask in Vietnam or Indonesia, do not worry, we will provide the interpreter. Bapak Ibu yang akan menanyakan pertanyaan apapun sekitar yang akan dibahas hari ini dalam bahasa Indonesia, jangan khawatir, kami akan menyediakan penerjemah untuk kemudian bisa menerjemahkan dan akan ditanggapi oleh pembicara. Without further ado, I would like to hand the next session to Ms. Soneta Asmara. Ibu Soneta, over to you, please.
Okay, thank you, Mas Adi. Can you hear my voice clearly? I hope you can all hear my voice clearly today. So, ladies and gentlemen, participants, good morning. Thank you for joining us at today's session of the Indonesia-Vietnam Business Opportunities to Accelerate Economic Recovery webinar. My name is Soneta, and I will be the moderator for today. As mentioned by the MC, today we will have two sessions, which are sessions on Indonesia-Vietnam updates and lessons learned from culinary sector, food and beverage in the hospitality industry. In this first session, we will obtain recent information on business opportunities both in Indonesia and Vietnam. We are much honored today to have with us two speakers who are experts and are the exact person to gain knowledge on this topic. From the Ministry of Trade of the Republic of Indonesia, Dr. Miftah Farid, Director of Export Product Development, and from Trade, the Ministry of Industry and Trade Vietnam, Deputy Director General, Ms. Nguy Thi Thanh An. At this first session, each speakers will have 15 minutes for their presentation. And after the second session, we will then have the questions and answer session. So during this presentation, should the audience have any questions, please do feel free to use the chat box or write down your questions on the application. And do not forget to mention your name and affiliation, and also the question, who the question is addressed to, or maybe later raise your hand at the question and answer session. All right. Before commencing, let me briefly introduce the first speaker, Bapak Miftah Farid. Selamat pagi, Pak.
Pagi, Bu Soneta. Selamat pagi semuanya. Morning.
So, before assuming his current position, Pak Miftah is he started off his career on the Directorate General of Domestic Trade in 2010 until 2016. And then he also had assumed a position as head of Indonesia Trade and Economic Office in Taipei from 2016 to 2020. And since 2021. He is currently the Director of Export Product Development at the Ministry of Trade of Indonesia. So, Dr. Miftah Farid, I now give the screen to you. Silakan, Bapak.
Thank you, Ibu Soneta. Very good morning from Jakarta. His Excellency Ambassador of Indonesia in Hanoi, Bapak Denny Abdi, Honorable Konsul Jenderal of Indonesia in Ho Chi Minh City, Bapak Agustaviano Sofjan, Deputy Director General of Fair Trade, distinguished speakers, business associations, and all participants in Vietnam and also in Indonesia. Thank you for having me here to share, to update about trade relation Indonesia and Vietnam. I would like to start with general update about Indonesia in the global trade. Indonesia total export value to the world in 2020 was 160 billion US dollar, decreased by almost 3% compared to 2019. Total export value that is 167 billion US dollar. While Indonesia export trend to the world in the last 5 years from 2016 until 2020 is positive at 2.41%. And top 10 Indonesia export product that has the highest value in 2020 are palm oil with the market share almost 11% to Indonesia total value export, and then coal, gold, petroleum gas, ferroalloys, natural rubbers, stainless steel, chemical, motor cars and other vehicles, and also copper ores. And the top 5 of Indonesia export main destination last year: China with the market share almost 20%, United States, Japan, Singapore, India, and while Vietnam is number 10 with the market share by 3%. Next, please. In order to increase Indonesia export to Vietnam, of course, we also need to know what Vietnam import from the world. Vietnam total import value from the world last year, last year, 260 billion US dollar, increased by 3%. And the Vietnam import trend from the world in the last 5 years, significant positive at around 10%. And top 10 product with the highest demand from Vietnam last year is electronic integrated circuit, telephone set, diodes, and many others, including coal, iron, and fabrics, knitted or coated with the market share 1.25%. And the top 5 Vietnam import main suppliers in last year, still previous slide, please. China, South Korea, Japan, United States, and Thailand, while Indonesia is placed number 8 with the market share 2%. This slide shows about Indonesia-Vietnam trade. Along with the improving situation of COVID pandemic, trade performance between the two countries, which had declined in 2020, is getting better until the current period, January to September 2021. It can be seen from several indicators. In last year, the total trade between two countries, between Indonesia and Vietnam, is worth 8 billion US dollar. Meanwhile, the total trade in January to September this year has surpassed this value with 8.09 billion. We believe, as mentioned by Excellency Ambassador, the target of 10 billion US dollar this year will be achieved. The same can be seen in Indonesia export to Vietnam. Still, same slide, please. In 2020, it has value almost 5 billion US dollar, and in the period of the January to September this year, it is worth 5.03 billion US dollar. Indonesia import from Vietnam also show a positive trend. This year, January, September 2021, it's already reached value around 3 billion US dollar. Previous slide, please. Previous slide. Yeah. Indonesia product with the highest demand from Vietnam last year, coal, palm oil, steel, vehicle from 1,000 until 3,000 cc, motorcycle, copper, reception apparatus, chemical, and also cigarettes. Next. This is Indonesia export to Vietnam potential map. Based on the interest and export potential map, several export products from Indonesia to Vietnam that have the potential to be further developed. First is palm oil, exclude crude palm oil, and also palm oil fraction. We have untapped potential remaining around more than 400 million US dollar. We need to unleash this potential. We need to collaborate with the Vietnam buyers to unleash this potential. And also we have untapped potential for the flat roll product and of stainless steel, yeah. Also newsprint and uncoated paper, and then shrimp and prawns, and then coffee, and then electrical apparatus for switching electrical circuit. So these are untapped potential product that we need to further develop in Vietnam market. Next slide. Conversely, based on the export potential map, several export products from Vietnam to Indonesia that have potential to be further developed include telephone set, smart card, and also data processing machine, a wiring set for vehicle, and also office machine. Next slide. To strengthen Indonesia trade relation to the world, including Vietnam, Ministry of Trade has been conducted Trade Expo Indonesia Digital Edition. This year, Trade Expo Indonesia Digital Edition with theme Reviving Global Trade was officially opened by the President of Indonesia on October 21st this year and lasts for 2 weeks until November 4th this year for interactive session. But all partner and buyers still can explore potential product from Indonesia until 20th December 2021 this year through website www.tradeexpoindonesia.com. There are 834 exhibitors divided into 8 product categories: manufactured products, digital lifestyle and services, medical healthcare, renewable energy, food and beverage products, living comfort and amenities, fashion and beauty products, and also halal products. In Trade Expo Indonesia Digital Edition this year, there are 35 forum activities were also held, namely trade, tourism, and investment, halal trade forum, business forum, and business counseling forum, which were held online and offline and attended by almost 6,000 participants from various countries. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. During 2 weeks Interactive Trade Expo Indonesia Digital Edition, the system recorded more than 26,000 visitors, while the total number of registered visitors was almost 8 buyers from 134 countries, with the most visitors from India, Malawi, and Southeast Asia. Product most attractive after by registered visitor are textile products, spices and seasoning products, coffee, tea, and cocoa products. Next slide. During 2 weeks of Trade Expo Indonesia this year, the interactive session managed to record a total transaction value of almost 4 billion US dollar, or surpass almost 300% of the transaction target of 1.5 billion US dollar. Buyers country of origin with the largest transaction value are Egypt, and then Brazil, Japan, Australia, China, and also Malaysia. In addition to coal that recorded transaction worth 2 billion US dollar, other products that have successfully attracted by Trade Expo Indonesia buyer this year are medical supplies, and then palm oil, pulp and paper, and also chemical products. Okay, this is my last slide. That most important is how we can unleash untapped potential that can be explored more to strengthen our trade in recovery economy. I thank you very much. Thank you, Bu Soneta.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Mita, for your presentation on updates of Indonesia's trade potentials, Pak. So thank you very much, Pak, Dr. Mita. But if I might highlight on Dr. Mita's presentation just now, that Indonesia and Vietnam still has further potentials of trade that we might explore. And Indonesia's export trend itself is growing steady, Pak, yeah? To the world, with export trend of 2.41%. And also during the COVID-19, in 2020 and 2021 until September, our trade between Indonesia and Vietnam also is still growing, reaching to 8.09 billion. So that is, I think, a good sign for both countries, showing that we do have potentials in these sectors. And for information for our audience from Vietnam, the top 5 of Indonesia's main product that Dr. Miftah just mentioned in his presentation is coal, palm oil, stainless steel, vehicles, and motorcycles. But aside of that, of course, we still do have other products that we can unleash. That's what Dr. Miftah's term was. We have to unleash the potentials between our two countries. So the Trade Expo Indonesia that Dr. Miftah had just highlighted is still going on, in fact, for the showcase until 20 December. So for participants from Vietnam, if you would like to know more about Indonesian products, you can visit this Trade Expo through online. Please visit the website of the Trade Expo Indonesia. You can still see the showcase. I mean, the interactive session has been closed last November, but the showcase itself will be still going on until 20 December. So, such as food and beverages, you can see varieties of products of food and beverages, energy, medical, halal. Halal is on the rise. I noticed that in Vietnam now too, halal might be like essentials. And of course, Indonesia is one of the biggest Muslim countries in the world with a lot of halal, and also fashion fashion and beauty. We have heard a lot from the Indonesian side's potential. So, good morning, Ms. Witi Tanhan. I do hope I have pronounced your name correctly.
Yeah.
Deputy Director General of Viet Trade, Ministry of Industry and Trade of Vietnam. It is really a pleasure for all of us here that you can be able to join us, and I am sure that you have a lot of things that you would like to share, specifically the opportunities that Vietnam holds. We can create opportunities and further cooperations together. So, without further ado, I now invite Ms. Witi Tanhan to deliver her presentation. The screen is yours, Ms. Tan.
Thank you for your introduction, Ms. Sonala. Good morning, everybody. Dear His High Excellency Sandiaga Salahuddin Uno, Minister of Tourism and Creative Economy of the Republic of Indonesia, High Excellency Denny Abdi, the Ambassador of the Republic of Indonesia to Hanoi, Mr. Agustaviano Sofjan, the Consul General of the Republic of Indonesia to Ho Chi Minh City, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, on behalf of the Ministry of Industry and Trade of Vietnam, I would like to warmly greetings, and that's my honor to attend the Indonesia-Vietnam business opportunities to accelerate economic recovery. In my presentation, I would like to emphasize on three main points. The first is the general figures on the Vietnam trade and investment. The second, that I will go very quickly because my colleagues from the Ministry of Industry and Trade of Indonesia have very clear and detailed information. That is the information on the bilateral trade and investment between Vietnam and Indonesia. And the third one, I would like to introduce some of the activities carried out by the Vietnam Trade Promotion Agency in terms of the trade and investment promotion to assist the Vietnamese and the foreign business communities. Ladies and gentlemen, the next slide, please. The next slide. You know that despite being heavily impacted by the COVID-19 outbreak in the first 10 months of 2021, Vietnam economy still trying to reach the positive results. We can see that the GDP increased by 5.64% in the first half of the year. And this will be significantly impacted by the COVID-19, but we hope we can recover in the last 2 months of the year. And the trade turnover of Vietnam reached nearly 429 billion US dollars, and these figures increased by 27.2% over the same period in the last year. With the GDP of over 350 billion dollars, Vietnam has risen to become the Asian third largest economy. And in addition, thanks to the success in trying to draw the foreign direct investment, we also was named to the UNTAD list of the top 20 FDI attracting countries in the world for the first time. That's our effort in this period. And Vietnam is also working hard to quickly control the disease for outbreak, maintain the supply chain, and increase vaccination rates in order to achieve the herd immunity in the first quarter of next year, allowing life to return to normal. The next slide, please. Next slide, please. For Indonesia and Vietnam bilateral trade, We can say that Indonesia is the Vietnam's third largest trading partner in Asia, and whereas Vietnam is the fourth major trading partners of Indonesia in the area. For the figures, may I pass very quickly because you already listened to the very general, the very detailed information from Mr. Sumadi. The next slide, please. Regarding to the figures on the foreign direct investment attraction in Vietnam, the changes for attracting the FDI in Vietnam in this year, 2021, are a little bit positive, particularly given in the fact of many major, medium, and small investors from developing countries are relocating their investment in Vietnam. According to the statistics collected by the Foreign Investment Agency under the Ministry of Planning and Investment, right now there are 140 countries and territories investing in Vietnam, with the number of more than 33,000 projects, and the total registered capital reached 349.9 billion US dollars. For the top leading FDI investors, we have Korea and Japan, Singapore, Taiwan, China, correspondingly in that order. The FDI capital is invested in most industry and fields of the economy in Vietnam, contributing significantly to the country's development and economic restructuring. In particular, the FDI capital have invested in key industries, for example, the telecommunications, petroleum, electronics, chemicals, steel, automobiles, motorcycles, information technology, leather and footwear, textile, and agricultural food processing, with 99 valid projects totaling 611.5 million US dollars in registered capital. Indonesia is now the 29th largest investment partner in Vietnam out of the 140 nations and territories. Next slide, please. And however, during the last 4 months, Vietnam in general, particularly the southern areas, face very current challenges by the fourth wave of the COVID-19 pandemic. So right now, in extremely difficult economic conditions, our government and our business trying to accommodate, and the government also try to support the business on the way to fight against the negative effect of the COVID-19 pandemic, in collaboration with the with the localities, the Vietnamese businesses, as well as the business community as a whole, try to find proactive ways to reorganize the production and the business while ensuring the pandemic prevention methods, trying to maintain the production and business, ensuring jobs for the workers, restructuring the enterprises, and trying to look for the opportunities to rise up again during the most difficult time in the pandemic. Many firms, including the domestic and also the FDI, have been faced very difficulty by the long-term COVID-19 pandemic, which have resulted in the delayed production, the labor shortages, higher costs, difficulty in delivering orders, supply chain disruption, loss of link chains, and loss of customers and markets are all factors to consider. So the government immediately has released the resolution 109 on specific ways to support the enterprise and the people in recovering and developing production under disease situations. It can help the SME, the Vietnamese SME, to soonly recover and also try to create the positive ways for the FDI in Vietnam. The next slide, please. Okay, that's okay. So, regarding to now, I would like to take a little bit to introduce about our organization. The VTrade is the abbreviation of the Vietnam Trade Promotion Agencies, and we are the governmental organization directly under the Ministry of Industry and Trade of Vietnam, and we are the focal point on the trade and investment promotion in the field of industry and commerce, trying to support the Vietnam businesses to connect with the foreign partners in general, as well as the Indonesia businesses in particular. We have made it a top priority to assist the businesses in locating market development channels in the context of COVID-19 pandemic. And during the period, especially in the last 2 years, we believe that the digital transformation is an essential trend that will assist enterprises in adapting, surviving, and growing in the current age. That's the reason why we try to apply the digital technology into the activities. For example, during the last 2 years, the VTrade is the pioneer in the Vietnam in terms of quickly developing and implementing online and hybrid trade promotion models, meaning that we combine between the offline and the online activities to help the business to overcome the difficulties. Hundreds of online trade promotion programs, such as the online trade conference, online exhibitions, and the use of live stream technology to promote the products on the digital platforms have been implemented during the last 2 years. We think that the activities not only produce initial results, but also demonstrate that they are innovative solutions quite suitable for the complicated situation right now and can be a very good replacing method of the many traditional trade promotion activities that were suddenly discontinued, while also keeping pace with the economy digital transformation. And as our efforts, over 1 million online trading sessions have been taken place during the last 2 years, and hundreds of thousands of Vietnamese businesses have received assistance in promoting their products and services to foreign partners on all continents. The online trade promotion activities also assisted Vietnamese exporters in saving the trade promotion costs while still maintain and develop a good relationship with the foreign partners in all markets all over the world. We also mobilized the entire system of the Vietnam commercial counselors abroad to participate effectively supporting localities, businesses, and especially the farmers in the consumption of agricultural products in difficult circumstances. That trade promotion activities cannot be carried out offline directly. We regarding to that during the pandemic, the domestic consumers, the domestic manufacturers and peasants also face very difficulties in trying to sell their products. So VTrade has also, although we mainly focus on the exporting promotion, but during that time, we also collaborated with domestic e-commerce platforms trying to assist the promotion of main crop products consumption on the national trade promotion pavilions. We serve important consuming markets like Hanoi, Da Nang, and Ho Chi Minh City. So we connect and we try to help the peasants and the manufacturers in other provinces like Hai Son, Sơn La, Bắc Nam, Cà Mau, etc. to sell their products. And the actions are significant in that they contribute to the promotion of the agricultural products consumption during the immediate harvest season, as well as assisting localities in gaining access to the new distribution channels, as well as the ability to contact a large number of consumers effectively. That is we talk about the domestic side regarding to the foreign markets. In addition to supporting the output for the domestic agricultures, Viettrade is also the focal point to continue working with the international e-commerce platforms such as the Alibaba.com, Amazon, to support Vietnam agricultural products. The cooperation agreement between Viettrade and two major e-commerce platforms have supported Vietnamese enterprises in promoting export promotion and brand development through the e-commerce platform. And the new industrial revolution is transforming the global supply chain and turning e-commerce into a viable economic transaction, and we try to utilize that. Next, please. I would like to introduce some of the events that we carry out for the next year that we really we think that you are on interested in, not only the Indonesian companies but also the Vietnamese side. In order to continue conducting the trade promotion activities, in order to help and connect the enterprises, particularly through providing the playgrounds for the businesses to promote their brands, access to the customers, we will organize the following significant events in 2022. The first, we keep going on, organize the Vietnam International Food Expo exhibition. This is the annual event since the year of 2015, and it is the place where the foreign exporters can join and introduce their products to the Vietnam markets. In addition, not only you can access not only the Vietnamese buyers but also other international buyers, especially from the Asian countries, to come to the events. But last year, due to the COVID-19 outbreak, so the first time the food expo has been organized in terms of the combined offline and the virtual form, and this year we organized in form of totally in the virtual. So we hope that for the next year, when the situation is better, we hope that we can get back to the offline, the traditional offline shows, and we hope to welcome you to participate in. The second, we keep going on organize the annual Vietnam Expo, and the two biggest exhibition events. We think that from now on, that will be the offline activity combining the online, so allowing more and more buyers and visitors have chance to visit and look for the good products they are interested in. The third one, we keep going on assisting in connecting Vietnamese businesses with foreign partners, inheriting and promoting the results obtained in 2021 from online activities. We will continue to organize a variety of online business matching between Vietnamese enterprises and partners, especially Indonesia, in next year and so on. We're ready to coordinate with the trade promotion organization, industry associations, and Indonesian businesses to organize forums, conferences, and seminars, try to connect the Vietnamese and Indonesian businesses, contributing to the support of the business in overcoming the difficulties. And the next one, within the framework of the Vietnam National Program that will be held every 2 years as a permanent member of the program secretariat. In next year, Viettrade will organize the announcement ceremony to support the business to promote, to advertise their product brands, trademarks, including many activities. For example, training courses, consultation, promote geographical indication trademarks, advertising on digital media. So If Indonesian companies you are interested in the Vietnam market, you can look for the partners who will be under the list of the Vietnam national program, national brand. So they are really trusted and reliable partners, and we're trying to promote and advertise for them. Besides these key activities, we also cooperate with the organization and organize some other activities in order to have to connect the Vietnamese business and the foreign business communities. I hope that with the very soft about information about the potential for trade investment cooperation in Vietnam and the diversity of trade promotion activities implemented by VTrade in the near future, we receive the interest and support of the Indonesian TPOs and other relevant organizations to promote extensive cooperation between the trade promotion management agencies of the two countries, and especially creating a cooperation relation for the businesses of the two countries in order to promote the economic and trade cooperation between the two countries. I wish today's conference a very great success and wishing you, all of you, distinguished guests and delegates, a good health, happiness, and success. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Anne. Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Anne, for your excellent presentation. Can you hear my voice, right? So I see here at the that there is one person who has raised his hand, but please refrain from asking at this part of the session. We later will have a Q&A session at the last part of this program today. So we will address the questions later on, and I do hope that the speakers would be still joining us until the question and answer session. So Ms. Anne, if I may highlight some points of your presentation today, this actually confirms what Dr. Miftah has mentioned, that our relations in terms of trade and also investment is between Indonesia and Vietnam is in a positive track, and we still could improve this, as the GDP of Vietnam itself is in a positive trend going up to, you mentioned here, at 5.64%, and Vietnam is now the third largest economy in ASEAN. Indonesia itself is the third major trading partners of Vietnam, but in terms of attracting foreign investment, Indonesia is at now the 29th largest investor in Vietnam. I think this maybe can be much improved from our side, and the same with Indonesia. We both two countries are facing challenges at this moment. The fight against COVID, you had detailed the programs that the government of Vietnam are doing to confront or to fight this COVID-19 pandemic through vaccinations, and also at the same time to maintain the production of business and economy to keep rolling. And one thing also that I should highlight from your presentation is the use of online technology to promote products and also promote trade during this COVID-19 collaborations through e-commerce. So this is also important for us, and actually this webinar is trying to be a venue for us to discuss further what should or what can we improve during this time to accelerate the economic recovery from the pandemic. During this COVID-19 also, like Indonesia, you are using this online technology to promote and to organize B2B business matchings, as well as expos. Had mentioned that one of the expos in 2022 would be the virtual food expo. So maybe some of our audience here are interested, or they have questions on this, like when will it be convened in this 2022? And also you had mentioned an annual Vietnam Expo, so maybe this would be like a platform that we could use together to explore more cooperations. So once again, thank you very much, Ms. Tan An, for the excellent presentations. And Dr. Miftah, I hope that you are still with us and can be still joining us until the question and answer session. Should our participants or the audience have any questions to ask further later. So this concludes the first session of today, and let me move on to the next session. The second session today is on coping with COVID-19, lessons learned from the culinary sector, food and beverage, and in the hospitality industries. So, ladies and gentlemen, the creative industry is one of the economic sector that was hardest hit due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And this includes the culinary subsector. So we may wonder, how does those who work in the culinary, food and beverage sector, hospitality industry cope during the pandemic situation? How could they turn the downfalls of the pandemic into opportunities? Would there still be any future of growth for this sector in the new normal? On another note, we all agree that creative economy industries are a value-added industry that contributes to increased GDP, employment, and could also boost the tourism industry. So with us today, we have 3 Indonesian businessmen who run businesses in this sector, the culinary sector, hospitality, and food and beverage industry, in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. We will hear from them, their experiences, their struggles during COVID-19, their ideas on how the culinary sector and food and beverage could still survive in this new normal. So I hope that we will gain from them their lessons learned. So here we have Pak Arif Gunawan, director at the Villa Song Saigon. He is the guy with the vest in the middle. Selamat pagi, Pak Arif. And we also have Pak Denny from WeLink, owner of Bakmi Restaurant. Pak Denny, yeah, he's in the batik with a blue mask. And also Pak Rico, owner of the Vindo Restoran. All 3 guys here are with glasses. I hope you will not be mixed up by which one is which. So each speakers will have 15 minutes, Bapak-Bapak, to present, share experience and ideas. And at the end of this session, we would then have the question and answer sessions. So should the audience have any questions, please feel free to use the chat box to write down your questions on your applications. Sorry. And do not forget to mention your name and affiliation and also who the question is addressed to. Or later raise your hand at the question and answer sessions. I saw somebody in the chat box asking about the presentations of the speakers. Do not worry. Please fill in the registration link at the chat box. There you can insert your email, and at the end of this session, we will email all of the presentations from the speakers to you. All right. So the first speaker is Bapak Arif Gunawan. Let me read a bit of his very long and extensive CV, curriculum vitae. So Pak Arif Gunawan has more than 30 years experience as leading business development strategist in luxury hospitality specialist in IHG, Shangri-La, Accor, Compass, including hospitality and tourism investment consultant. Wow, this is so very long list, Pak. So he also has a 14 years experience in developing several hotels, theme parks, tour and property management, and currently develops and organized master classes across Southeast Asia. Okay, so he has a very long, and I believe that he has he has many things to share with us today. So I will not further do this session. And so, Pak Arif Gunawan, the screen is yours, Pak.
Good. This time, I'm more than happy to represent how to boost tourism, but technically, maybe next time, I put it like, consider like the first or series number 1. What I would like to stress here is the missing hospitality industry, or stress it, the missing of hospitality. Before to boost tourism back to normal, we have to find out and dig up again and put it again, what is hospitality. In this time, I would like to share in the key capital letter or keyword. First is adapt. Before talk about adapt, A is we should accept. In this kind of situation, whoever cannot accept this situation will fail and will die, including the hospitality industry. And then we have to adapt the situations. It's like everyone here wearing masks. How can hospitality with masks? So in this kind of situations, we have to adapt the situation that hospitality still survive, hospitality is still alive, and of course, the business itself. The A next is alliance. In this kind of situation, we cannot win alone. In this kind of situation, we cannot work by ourselves or kind of like a super me, but it should be super team. So once again, hello, wonderful Indonesia, and Xin Chào, Vietnam Dep. I'm here, Arif Gunawan, would like to start how to be alliance and how to be survive in this kind of situations. Would you like to next slide? Yeah. I chair this both organization. Internationally is International Luxury Travel and Hospitality Alliance, especially now we talk about alliance. And in Indonesia, who those from Indonesia now? Once again, hello Indonesia. That I chair also is Indonesia Luxury Travel and Hospitality Associations. Why we should be alliance? Why? As I said earlier, we cannot live alone, including even though country. We have attended, or I've spoken last end of the month with 10 countries in Southeast Asia and including Asia. But just yesterday, we spoken also with Malaysia and Singapore that we have to be alliance one another. We cannot open or we cannot boost the tourism without working together, unless we are most powerful in our own country. So alliance here is how can we boost together, for example, like a travel bubbles. Like now has been opened Singapore, for example. Singapore has opened for everyone without quarantine. Has been led by Bangkok earlier. So I'm asking, when Indonesia? I have read and I have heard many times that yes, health is number one. Health is most important. But remember, the health is not only for the body, but also economy. So if we don't care also the health of economy, the body also sick. So being alliance here, ladies and gentlemen, that whoever I'm more than happy to help internationally or regionally, or especially for our brothers or sisters in Vietnam and Indonesia. We will help you to connect it, the world back again, that boosting tourism, we should be alliance one to another. Next slide, please. The second one is R. We should be still resilient. Resilience that this kind of situations, we should be stronger. If we don't, if we are not stronger, we die again. Like Indonesia says, tangguh and grow, or resilience and grow. So in any organization now, they have, or we have to adapt it, and we have to use that common sense how to create a result. Every single employee in this new time, they have to adapt and they have to change with result-oriented. Because without result-oriented and back again like before, we just working like nowhere or just follow the wind, we will lose in the market. We will lose in this kind of situation. We have to win in this kind of situation. I don't want to mention what is the situation. This is very special, but because I declare there is no pandemic, because we are in endemic. Like or not like, we are living and we have to be together. Result-oriented is the key of human resources in any single organizations. If they don't, we have to upgrade them. If they don't think about the result, we have to train them. So, ladies and gentlemen, result is very important because in the end of the month, the numbers in the bank, whether you have or not, you have. So this is how to help each other, help your management, help your owners, help your boss, that let's think about results. Next slide, please. We should be intense and improve. A sample of Vilasong Saigon. Since last year, we improve anything. It's not only talk about travel and hospitality, but we think about activities also. We should seriously to take action this. Ladies and gentlemen, or whoever working with your boss, you have to be work together with your boss. What is the right directions? And we have to improve. The critical situation now, the losing or the losing hospitality is because we don't want to be improved and we don't want to take seriously in this kind of situation. Like, Silabi, it's like just normal. Remember, the situation now is not normal at all. It's special. Anything we have to be improved, even though I put it here, intense is continuously that we have to improve every single action what we have. Next slide, please. Enlarge. I put it here as also extended. We have to, E is extended and enlarge. Whatever your capability, remember that God gave you a creations unlimited. So whenever in this kind of situation, the missing hospitality is so deep, we have to open again. We have to remember again that enlarge the capability and enlarge the capacity extremely. Like Vilasong Saigon, it used to be no water spot in front of our river. But now, because of since last year, the situation changed. Most of the time has been 8 years Vilasong Saigon operated was only 100% for tourists. Can you imagine if there is no tourists at the moment? We have to do extremely. So if those people before never crossed Saigon River, I started the first. How to cross by paddle. Welcome to Vilasong Saigon. Anytime I teach you how to paddle crossing Saigon River. And enlarge is very important. Our capability is unlimited. So create more, because under Minister of Creation or Creativity, here is very important. This time, even though also because of the situation is special, we open tour river, and also the last product is Kwangon Saigon. Kwangon Bali. Kwangon Bali is what? The place, the restaurant, the food, but oriented Bali. Remember, this time it's not easy to travel back to Bali. Last time that we can go back to Bali 4 times a week. Has flight direct. It's only 3 hours because my home in Bali. So now, how can I not miss Bali? I created Bali in Vindo Saigon. So any activities, I will not miss a wave because I can do paddle. I will not miss the food because I create food. And also I will not miss the water because I live by the water. Next, please. F. Fear not. This is the missing hospitality. The more you fear, the more you always think it's going to be die. Because remember that the happy heart is medicine. The happy heart actually your booster to again this kind of situation. Fear not, because why? The more fear will reduce your immune. The more fear, you will forget what is hospitality. Our hospitality was missing nearly 2 years behind this mask. No more, because if your heart is happy, if your heart is glorious, hospitality will be back. I passed this morning in the receptionist here. Even there is no hospitality at all. Remember last time even 5 to 7 employees in the lobby. But even though there is no one. I couldn't find, even though difficulties to find informations because the staff was not there. So remember, ladies and gentlemen, we have to put back the hospitality because hospitality is never die. Because hospitality is our blood, is our spirit. Remember also, ladies and gentlemen, crisis. Next slide, please. Create opportunities and no crisis lasts forever. My message is, fear not, because God with you all. Thank you. Sinkaman, terima kasih.
Thank you very much, Bapak Arif Gunawan. Pak, I am wearing a mask now. I am actually afraid of COVID-19. But maybe I would like to just take it off for a moment because I hear some complaints that people cannot hear my voice clearly. Okay, so I hope that you can hear my voice and see my face. So hello. Pak Arif and the audience, from your presentations, we hear a lot of dying in your sentences. So, but it's in a good way. I mean that if we do not win, then we will die. Right, Pak Arif? Yeah. So we have to adapt. We have to be resilient. We have to be intense and improve this. We have to have the spirit to always make improvements, to enlarge and even achieve the extreme, yeah, Pak. And we cannot be fear not. So we have to be fearless. So maybe these are the keys that Pak Arif is trying to convey to all of us to survive during this pandemic and for the hospitality industry particularly. Audience, if you have seen the culinary promotion video on the first part of our webinar, his restaurant is the Villa Saigon Boutique Hotel, and in this restaurant of his, there's an Indonesian cuisine, Pak. So this is very interesting. He also promotes Indonesian cuisine to the Vietnamese, and it's very crowded, the restaurant. And there is, if you see in the video, there is like a nasi tumpeng, right? The royal, what do you say? The royal
Yellow rice.
Royal yellow rice. So this is part of his tactics. Yeah. To promote and to increase more interest in an interesting way for the Vietnamese people. Thank you, Pak Arif. I believe that maybe The audience would like later on to ask some questions about what have Pak Arif presented to us. So we move on, ladies and gentlemen, to the next speaker. Next speaker is Bapak Dani Hidayat. Pak Dani, selamat pagi, Pak. Oke, Bapak Dani juga mencopot maskernya. He is like just taking off his mask for a while, ya, Pak. So if I may read a bit of his CV, he has a very extensive CV. I think it's longer than Pak Arif's CV, but I will just cut it short. So Pak Dani has 8 years experience in Indomaret. Indomaret, for those who do not know yet, is an Indonesian convenience store, very popular in Indonesia. He also has 4 years experience in a company called the Lautan Luas Vietnam. It's a chemical industry company. And he also has 2 years work in a Prodigy Data Solutions Singapore. In 2017, he established WeLink. Later in his presentation, he will elaborate more on what this WeLink is all about. And in 2020, during the pandemic, it's very interesting. Even during the pandemic, he had opened a restaurant in Ho Chi Minh City, the heart of Ho Chi Minh City, Bakmi. The name of the restaurant is Bakmi. And he is master degrees in business and management. So, Pak Dani, I give the floor to you.
Thank you, Bu Samantha. Okay. So, right now I want to introduce about what is the Willings and about the Willing role in the culinary business too. Okay, next slide. Okay, this one is Willing. Actually, I want to become a bridge for the two countries for introducing both country product for the food and beverage industry. So in 2017, I established Willing in Vietnam to import product from Indonesia to Vietnam. In 2019, I established a company in Indonesia to import product from Vietnam to Indonesia. In 2020, I established like the first Indonesian restaurant and mini mart. Why I want to put mini mart? Because I want to put like our product in there. So like our product, showroom product for Indonesian product. And our future project, actually, I really want to invite all the Indonesian restaurants to collect together in one place. I said it's Indonesia Food Village. Last time I have the project is in 2021, but because of the pandemic is continued. So I hope in the 2022 we already can establish this one. Okay, so this is just only the blitz of what Willing export product to Vietnam. Next slide. This is the snack product from Indonesia that I import to Vietnam. Another one. Next slide. This is the beverage. Sosro is the one of the famous tea in bottle in Indonesia. That next product, yeah, is this coffee product from Indonesia too. And next is the bakery product from Indonesia. And next slide. Now this is what I import from Vietnam to Indonesia. So this is the bakery product, the bang pia and the peanut. Okay, next slide. So right now in here, I want to, maybe before we already know, we have a lot of struggling in the pandemic. So in here, I want to say that we have the big opportunity actually in culinary after this pandemic over. So next slide. Yeah, like we know the fact that actually like before the pandemic, actually in the Bentan market, we have like the visitor around 10,000 visitor per day before the COVID. And this is the center of the crowd in Ho Chi Minh City. So this location that I already tried to search, and we have like one place in that area we can build like Indonesian food village. Next slide. This is some culinary business fact in Vietnam. where the trend lifestyle in Vietnam before pandemic, we have like having meal at the restaurants, gathering together for hearing music in the bar or pub. That yeah, a lot of Vietnamese interest actually to visit Indonesia, and with Indonesian food village, actually I just don't want to only selling the food. In that village, we want to introduce even to our tourism via Indonesia culinary. So I hope that in the future, Vietnam people will know more Indonesia, not just Bali. Maybe they know Labuan Bajo. After that, they know about the Raja Ampat and a lot of the beautiful place in Indonesia they can visit too. Okay, next slide. This is the data that I get from 2016 until 2019. Actually, our tourism, both country is increasing a lot. So I see in here have a lot of chance for the tourism in the future. Okay, next slide. This is some main factor why I want to do the culinary business in Vietnam. Because the population in Vietnam is around 97 million. 9 million live in Ho Chi Minh. Where the Vietnam consumer spending in 2019 reached 185 million US dollar. I get just the new one, the spending in 2021 still growth around 4.4%. And in 2022, been projected to be growth by 7.3%. So this is quite opportunity for us to build like a culinary market. Okay, yeah, like have the party tradition and the consumer behavior. Spending is mostly around can reach 9,740 US dollar per year for the per family. Okay, next slide. This is the main target for gastro diplomacy Indonesia in Vietnam. Number one, to promote Indonesian culture. Second, promote Indonesian tourism. And the number three, promote Indonesian food and beverage product to Vietnam market more widely. Okay. This is the some factor that why I want to open business culinary in Vietnam too. Number one, to comply the needs of Indonesian people who live and stay or visit to Vietnam. So they, let's say they have want to find the Indonesian food, at least we can provide. And the second thing, for the foreigner who like the Indonesian culinary and live or visit to Vietnam. And the number third is the one that to comply the needs of the Vietnamese people who like Indonesian culinary when they visit to Indonesia. Okay. This is just some other potential factor about the tourism. Okay, next slide. This is the taste of the food in Indonesia that I already tried to see via our restaurants. So I can see that a lot of Vietnamese like number one is the rendang. After that, the second one is the nasi goreng. It's like the fried rice and the fried noodles. After that, the other thing that we will try to promote a little bit by bit. Okay. So next slide. I want to explain this is our future project in the future. We want to build like Indonesian food village. Whether in this place, I will collect all the Indonesian restaurants in one place. So no need to separate in another place. So I will find a quite big space. So we can put all the restaurant of Indonesia, we put in here. So we give the name is Indonesian Food Village. Okay, and next slide. This is our preview. This is the mock-up that I tried to make with the 3D. And this is the area that we can put for the raw material and for the garbage. So I separate between the main door and for the raw materials. And another slide again. Now, actually in the Indonesian food village, not just only selling the food. Actually, I prepare like the location for like some exhibition booths. So like another manufacturer, a lot of manufacturers want to try to promote their product. They can call us and put in our food village anytime and anywhere when the the place is available. Okay, and we will build like a concert hall. In here, we hope that we have like the singer from Indonesia and singer from Vietnam. We collaborate in there, and not just only for the singing. Maybe in this hall, I want to put like for Indonesian dance or to introduce. We have a lot of the variety of Indonesian dance, and maybe we can collaborate with the Vietnamese dance too in there. Okay, and all the booths you can see in here. I want to draw all the tourism destination in every booth relate to their culinary. So when the people come and eat in our booths, when they see the culinary, they like the food, they will want to know, oh, where is this come from? We can see from the booths and they can see how beautiful is Indonesia. So in here, I would like to try to introduce that Indonesia, wonderful Indonesia. So all the booths we will draw with all the destinations. Okay. Next slide. Yeah, this is our vision. We have the vision is an Indonesian culinary for the world. Okay, next slide. This our mission is introduce Indonesian culinary to international community in Vietnam. Number 2, become a trusted partner in Indonesian culinary business in Vietnam. Number 3, become Indonesian food campaign in the world. This is just like example list of the food of Indonesian food village. Okay, next slide. This is just, I just make a little bit analyze for business simulation. If let's say the bill or the per customer spending is just only 100,000, around $4, we can get the break even is even in 1 year. If the customer spending more than this one, let's say $6, even we can get around 7 months for the break even for the investment. Okay, this one, why I said this is a quite good opportunity. In here, I give some the facility that we prepare for the tenants. We will help our tenant for the legal document, even for the visa and the working permit. And after that, the second one, because I have the both company in both country, so I can help for providing for the export import for the raw materials. And number 3, we can help for the assistant for the chef. And number 4, we provide like the service for the insurance for all the people who work in Vietnam. Number 5, so for all the expenses like electricity, water, waitress, and the cleaner, all will be bared by willing. And number 6, even we provide for the housing and the transportation for all the chefs who come from Indonesia. So it's no need to worry about where they can stay and everything. Okay, this is just only a glimpse about the cost that you need to pay to us, about the rent fee, after that the kitchen equipment, and that's all. So don't have any other cost that you need to take care. Okay, and next slide. Even the raw material procurement, all will be taken care by the willing. We will provide to you for the procurement for the raw materials. And the next slide. And all the transaction, we will use the e-money. So all is the cashless. It's easier for everybody who come and visit our booths. And the second one, yeah, this is just only the flowchart. Next slide. This is the last that I want to say. We know that we have a lot of struggling in 2021 and 2020. And I hope that with the collaboration with us, we can make like a big opportunity for the culinary business who willing to come and try to Vietnam. When you collaborate with us, we just can make sure, let's say when you already agree and deal everything, we will take care, even in 1 month, we already can prepare all the how to say, the document, legal document, everything for you to do the business in Vietnam. Rather than when you do it private, when you do by yourself, maybe you need to like registration. After that, you need to take care about a lot of document. After that, do the audit. So it's more complicated. So in here, I would like to give you opportunity. Please come join together, and we can become like Indonesian one Indonesia in our Indonesian food village, and introduce Indonesia as one in the culinary. Okay, maybe that's from me. Thank you, Sim Kang Eun. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Pak Denny, for the presentations. It is very enlightening for us to hear your presentation because you have like a vision forward, moving forward beyond COVID-19. You have a dream to yes, a dream to defeat the COVID-19 and then build an Indonesian food village here in Vietnam. I think that's a very brilliant idea. And should the Ministry of Tourism and Creative Industries still joining with us, I believe that this is also a very promising investment. Maybe some of our audience are here together from the culinary businesses or the restaurant businesses. Maybe you can further take a look at what Mr. Dhani had proposed to us today for developing this Indonesia food village to promote tourism, culture, and also food and beverage, right, Pak Dhani? Pak Dhani also has a wheeling, he mentioned earlier in his presentation, for export and imports Indonesian products. So maybe people, audience joining us today are from the food and beverage industry or from the SMEs. They can collaborate further with Pak Dhani's wheeling to do promotion. In his restaurant in Bakmi, he mentioned that there is a market, like a showcase, product showcase for Indonesians product, and that is like a very good opportunities to try to promote new Indonesian products here in Vietnam. Okay, Pak Dhani, I believe maybe some of us here are very interested, and please save your questions for the Q&A sessions later after this. So last but not least, the speaker of this session is Pak Riko. Pak Riko, hello Pak, apa kabar Pak? Oke, sehat ya Pak? Okay. Pak Riko is also a restaurant owner from Vindo Restaurant, and he also, I kind of, this really triggers me to ask actually, is what is actually the drive to like build a business, a culinary business at the moment of COVID-19. So I think maybe you could share with us today in your presentation. So without further ado, I do invite Bapak Riko. This session is yours, Pak.
Oke, terima kasih. Thank you so much for today. Okay, today I would like to present about the challenge on the promoting and investing in the culinary and the F&B sector. As everybody know that during the COVID time, a lot of F&B business, culinary business is dying. But what I would like to encourage all the friends here. Like Pak Ari said that if we don't fight, we die. So this is actually, this time is the right time to move, to show to the market that we are able to survive, and then we are able to go forward. Okay, so today I would like to expand about this challenge on promoting and investing, but I will not see as the challenge and as a challenge, but it's as the opportunity. And then I would like to encourage all the friends in Vietnamese, in Indonesia also, to invest in the culinary business and F&B sector. Okay, please, next. Next, please. Yeah, okay. So next. Okay, so today I would like to explain about the brand. Yeah. Okay. So right now, as everybody know, when we in the F&B business, there's There's a well-known brand and then the new brand. Today, we will discuss about the new brand, your own brand. Okay, so for the restaurant success rate, okay, what the percentage of the restaurants fail? Okay, approximately about 60% restaurant fail in the first year of the operation, and 80% fail within the first 5 years. Next, just only 20% can be success. So how to make it happen? How to make it success? You can see that from the 100% into the 20% is really, really not easy. So there's some key factor into the success. Okay, so I will say that it's a triangle of the success. Number one, your entrepreneurship. Okay, it's number two, is your product. And number three is your business capital. Okay, so talking about the business capital, yeah, after the COVID happened in the world, and then it's the impact to the business. So I understood that business capital is very important. So this is the key of the success to get into 20% of the success in the culinary and F&B business. Okay, next please. Okay, so we'll discuss one by one, talking first with the entrepreneurship. Okay, first, we as an entrepreneur, we need to have a business mindset. Okay, some of the friends or maybe some of people want to start a business, so they will think that business is easy. Yes, open business is easy, but to become businessman is not easy. Okay, business is talking about the how to maintain, how to grow. It's not talking to open. Everybody can open the business, but not everybody can maintain and to grow the business. So we need to have a business mindset. Okay, after that, we need to do the research. Okay, when you want to do culinary business or F&B business, you need to do the research of your market. Okay, so of your product, and then about your business. So when Vindo start in Vietnam, okay, we start with very simple menu. Okay, because my passion is I would like to introduce the Indonesian dish to Vietnamese. Okay, so my big idea is I want to introduce ayam penyet. Right. So when I do the research with some of the Vietnamese, when I smash the chicken and then put the sauce, the chili paste on the top, we call sambal, the Vietnamese surprised. What is this? How come there is a sauce on the chicken? And then I said that this is the legacy of Indonesia dish. They said, but it looks like somebody is ready to touch my food. Then what happened is I start with the ayam goreng. Then after with the ayam goreng, I put the sauce, the sambal, the side of ayam goreng. So when they try the sambal with the chicken, they say, oh, it's nice. Yes, it's actually more nice if you smash it and then you put the sambal on the top of the chicken. And then with that, people try and eat. Then after that, they like it so much. Okay. And then after that, you need to understand about your target market. Okay, you need to see that, oh, your target market is the baby boomer, is it the Gen X, the Gen Y, or Gen Z. So like this ayam penyet, I can say that is the target market is mostly for the Gen X, Y, and Z. For the baby boomer, for the Vietnamese, it's still something very new for them. Okay, so I can say that for business, you need to understand your target market. You're not talking about the ayam penyet only. Whatever that you guys want to start business with a drink, or you want to start with the Western food, whatever Indonesian food, or however the culinary, you need to understand your target market. You cannot simply like open it, then you just give it to everybody. So it's very important to understand about your target market. Okay. So and then the next, you need to have a solid business plan. Okay. When you open the business of the culinary, you're not thinking about only that. Okay, I just opened for 6 months. I just opened for 1 year. But you need to do the prediction. You need to do the planning for at least maybe 3 years. And then everything need to be done by part. Cannot be done by, okay, today I want to do everything. No. So you just need to do is part by part and then review. And then after that, then please complete your solid business plan. Most of the business cannot be success because they never have a big view on the business plan. They just only, okay, I just want to open the restaurant, then that's it. So what is your business plan? Okay. And then after that, you need to have a team management. Okay. Like what Arif said, that you cannot live alone. You cannot work alone. So you need to encourage your team. You need to gather your team to work together and then tell them about your business plan. Tell them about your objective. And then drive them into the success. Okay. Many people always think that when I open the business, I just want to have the profit. I want success. But a lot of people forget success is the fruit of the process. Okay? So that's why I will say that the business plan. Okay. Everybody always want to have profit. Yeah, I also want to have profit, but they forget about the process. So if you're doing the good process with a good team, with a good business plan, and then you have a good result. Okay. And then also it's about CRM, about the customer relations management. Without the customer, culinary business is nothing. So meaning that no customer, no business. Because nobody eat your food. Nobody drink your drink. So work with your customer. Okay. Wherever that they come to your restaurant, like a bar, it's like hospitality. I mean, don't let your hospitality die. You need to serve with your heart, serve with your soul. So, and then you ask your customer, are you happy today? Are you happy with our food? Is there any feedback? So don't ever that feel shy or scared to ask your feedback from your customer, because the feedback is the success of your business. And then don't be sad if the feedback is not so good. But you need to happy, because this will drive you to the success. Okay, and then the marketing and then the promoting. During the COVID, I can say that Vindo, yes, we are impacted. We lost a lot of customers, but then after that, we realized that we need to think digital. Okay, so what happened is Windows try to engage with the online delivery company. So this is the reason that until now, I can say that after the COVID time, 90% 90 to 95% people is buying from the online, and then also it's with our hotline. So like you see that the Vindo is already work with the Gojek, with the Grab, with the Bakmi, with the Shopee food as well. So this is helping us something like this. So yes, traditionally, yes, we still can do traditional way, but I can say now this time is a new era. I mean, after the pandemic, everybody is changed. The lifestyle changed. The way they purchase also is a change. So keep think digital and then try to promote it on the digital way. Okay, talking about the business capital now. Next, please. So during when you want to open the culinary business, it's very important that you need to have a fund planning. Okay, and then it's a P&L target. Okay, this is very interesting about the P&L target. Okay, when we open restaurant, I will not say that this month I will gain the money. I will profit. Next month I will profit. No, when you open the restaurant, you need to get the trust from the customer, especially when your product is new. So when the product is new, you need to introduce to your customer to gain the trust from the customer, and then you can get the slowly in the profit. Okay, so P&L, people think about profit, but we need to have the target of the loss also. When Windows start the business in Vietnam, for the first 3 months, I never put profit target. but I put this loss target. Okay, because within 3 months, I need to make the people believe my product. So this is the reason that I putting the loss target. But what's the target? The target is as minimum as can, because we need to have a promotion, promotion money, and we need to have the discount in order to get the trust from the customer. And also, number 3 is money management. You know, after the COVID, money management is very important. When we have the profit from the our business, please keep it calm, because not every day is sunny day. It's a raining day some days, like in the COVID time. Some of the business fail after COVID because they don't keep the some fund as the emergency fund. So when the COVID is coming, they need to pay the rental. They need to keep maybe some of the workers, or some maybe they want to keep the chef, and then end up they don't have that enough money to maintain, and then they need to close it. So money management is very important. It's not talking about that we are glorious when we have profit, but sometimes we need to remember to keep it for the emergency day. Okay, talking about the product, like taste. Okay, this is related with your research and then the target market. So when you determine your target market, and then after you done the research, and you need to know that what's the taste that you want to promote, what the taste you want to introduce to your customer, and then after that we need to have a standard. So culinary business or F&B business is not talking about like, you know, you go to the street market and then they don't have any standard of the recipe. They just put it some maybe the MSG for some salt, some spice, then it's become the food. So for the culinary business, for the long term, we need to have a standard recipe. Okay. After you have the standard, you can maintain the taste, and then you rework with your recipe. Rework, talking about rework recipes, not talking about change your flavor, change your standard, but how you make your recipe is efficient enough for your product in order to lower down your cost. Okay, and then your serving size. In the different country or maybe in the different region, they have a different serving size. Some of the people like to eating more rice. Some people like to eating a small rice. So then you need to understand your serving size, where you are going to sell, and then also shrink the menu. Why I mentioned about shrink the menu? Shrink the menu is talking about you create the menu is not too much. Not too much meaning that not too much type of the unrelated dish. When you create too much unrelated dish, then you will have a lot of waste. When you have a lot of waste, then you will have higher costs. Okay, so next please. Okay, so talking about the break-even point of the different restaurant format, like Pak Dani just now mentioned that he said that in 7 months, 7 months we can have the break-even. So you can see that quick service restaurant, you know, it take about 5 to 8 months. Okay, and then the casual dining restaurant take about 18 months. Fine dining restaurant is take about at least 2 years. So this is that, like, I would like to explain this. Culinary business is not like your fingertip. Then you can open, then you can have the profit in the short term. So you need to get ready. You need to have a good fund planning. You need to have a good management. You need to have a good business plan. Okay, so like we see that 5 to 8 months. So you need to have 5-8 months. You don't get anything. But after that, with a good business plan, with a good system, then you will have the profit. So to become a businessman is not easy. Yeah, everybody want to become businessman. Yeah, but like I say, to open business is very fast. Tomorrow I can open business, but to maintain and to grow it is not easy. Okay, so but I encourage to everybody in Indonesia, in Vietnam, if you guys want to do the culinary business, actually it's a fun. And then don't scare about fail. Don't scare about people say. Study what your product, do it right, and then after that with a good planning, I believe we can success in the culinary business, especially at this time. And this time, not many people scared to open the business in this post pandemic, but this is our opportunity actually. If we can success in this time, we will success in the furthermore. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Pak Rico, for the presentations delivered. So I'd like to highlight some points here that maybe not most of us know, that actually 60%, you highlighted this number here, 60% of restaurants fail in the first year. Maybe most people, after they fail, then they just stop. They don't want to go on. So actually, that is the critical moment, ya Pak, whether you go or whether you stop. So that makes it only 20% of people are successful in the food and beverage and culinary sector. And it's all about process, ya Pak. Process and passion. You mentioned this. So if you are not passionate, then maybe, yeah, okay, then when the goings get tough, then you just stop. But we have to remember and bear in mind that culinary is like part of the creative industry. So you need to have a creativity, how to promote this culinary. It has many sectors actually. If you promote culinary, then you actually promote also the culture. You can use this promoting culinary for boosting tourism, a lot of multiplier effect in the end. So it's a very promising sector, very huge opportunities despite the challenges. It is not challenges, but opportunities actually. So ladies and gentlemen, these three gentlemen here are like living proof that you can be successful in this sector, even during COVID. It depends on how we build trust to the customers. Just don't always think of the profit. P&L, this profit and loss thing, is maybe for some of us are very important. If you don't get more money from this business, then well, just stop. But if you have passion in this business, then you just go on. And you have also to remember that you have to adjust the taste to the locals. So while introducing new products, you have to remember that it's something new for the locals. So you just can't just, here, we have this ayam penyet and you serve it just the same as we do it in Indonesia. But then you have to be creative to how to present the culinary dish so it will be acceptable for the locals. So I think this is a very important factor, and I believe that this today's session from these three gentlemen here could lift up the spirits of all of us, especially for those who are at the culinary business. I believe that today also we have a lot of Indonesians here who are in the F&B business, so maybe you have questions you want to ask to these three gentlemen who are like a warrior in the COVID-19 pandemic. Maju terus pantang mundur, that's what the Indonesians say. So if there's some obstacles, then just be creative. That Indonesian and Vietnam actually have the same settings. I mean, we have both young population, growing young population. That is important. And young populations tend to be creative. So we will talk about more about the e-commerce and digital later on the second day. Pak Rico mentioned that when the COVID-19, he then changed the strategy using digital, using e-commerce. There's also using Gojek, Grab, and everything. So tomorrow we have Gojek. So please do join us again for the next webinar. But before that, we are now at the Q&A session.
Before us, hospitality never digital because you cannot experience with digital. Hospitality, booster.
Okay, Pak, I will take note on that. Hospitality is like a people-to-people contact, ya Pak. If you cannot see the people, then you're not being polite. Hospitality is...
Experience is better.
Yeah, experience.
Touch it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course we even in this this convening this conference digitalized, we cannot experience the human touch, yeah, Pak, human touch of human beings between one person and another. Well, that's the downside of digital. So we can't win them all, yeah, Pak. In a way, we have to wear masks, but well, we can't avoid the COVID-19 at the moment. Anyways, we are now here at the Q&A session. If there are any questions from the audience, I would like to invite. I did see someone raise his hand. If you are still here, Bapak Abid Darda Arbi, are you still with us, Bapak Abid? I saw you raising your hand. Yes, please.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello. Good afternoon for bapak-bapak yang ada di sana. Perkenalkan, saya Abid Darda dari Samarinda, Kalimantan Timur. Kami adalah anak-anak muda yang menyongsong ibu kota negara, Pak. Jadi acara-acara seperti ini sangat penting bagi kami. Karena suatu saat kami pasti ditempatkan di posisi siap atau tidak siap, kuat atau tidak kuat, sanggup ataupun tidak sanggup. Kami harus bersaing dengan negara-negara yang lain dalam hal ekspor. Dalam hal ini, saya menyimak mengenai kreatif ekonomi, Pak. Anak-anak muda kami di Kalimantan Timur, Pak, sangat-sangat senang sekali dengan acara-acara yang diadakan oleh Indonesian Vietnam Business ini, Pak. Kami ingin agar bapak-bapak hadir di Kalimantan Timur untuk memberikan edukasi, inovasi, dan segala macam yang bisa Bapak berikan untuk kami. Karena kami anak-anak muda kepengen banget, Pak, bicara-bicara sama bapak-bapak yang besar seperti ini. Pertanyaan saya, Pak, sangat simpel. Apakah untuk anak-anak muda seperti kami akan memperoleh jaringan komunikasi dan informasi yang akurat, akuntabel, dan tidak terlalu mengikat? Karena sistem administrasi kita ini kadang-kadang sedikit ruwet, Pak. Jadi kami hanya ingin agar kami diberikan akses dan komunikasi serta informasi yang luas. Apakah bisa ke arah sana, Pak? Itu saja yang saya tanyakan. Good afternoon untuk seluruh peserta dan seluruh panitia. Sukses dan sehat selalu buat keluarga dan beserta staf yang ada di Vietnam. Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sehat. Bangga buatan Indonesia. Go ekspor. Go untuk ekonomi lebih maju Indonesia. Terima kasih.
Oke, terima kasih Pak Abid untuk pertanyaannya. Okay, for those of you who are joining us and do not understand Indonesian, I'd like to just translate it overall of the question of Pak Abid here. Pak Abid is expressing his curiosity whether actually it is not addressed. This question is not addressed to all the speakers here. It's actually addressed to us. He's asking whether whether there are programs that we can share with Pak Abid. By the way, is from Kalimantan. Right, Pak Abid dari Kalimantan ya, Pak?
Ya benar, saya dari Kalimantan, Samarinda, Kalimantan Timur.
East Kalimantan, Samarinda, capital city here in Kalimantan Timur, East Kalimantan. So he is wondering whether we have like programs in the creative industry to boost young generations. So as we have mentioned in earlier presentations, that Indonesians and Vietnam have growing young populations who are creative. And Pak Abid, yeah, we do have these programs. I believe that governments, the local governments have these programs also. And we at the Vietnam and Ho Chi Minh City, together with the Embassy of Indonesia in Hanoi, of course, would facilitate you should you be able, if you would like to know more about the creative industry in Vietnam or things that we can work together later on. So Pak Abid, terima kasih Pak untuk pertanyaannya.
Terima kasih.
Nanti ke depan kita akan kerjasama terus tentu dengan pemuda-pemuda generasi muda, young generations in
Siap.
Terima kasih Pak.
Mari.
Okay, so any other questions from the audience, please? If you would like to raise any questions, we still have here Bapak Miftah and Miss Ann, who are still here. Thank you very much for being and bearing with us. Okay, so we have a question here in the chat box. Let me read it out to you. Okay, so anticipating the uncertainty situation, whether we will get over the pandemic or other issues that we never know could happen in the future, challenges for F&B industry, could you further elaborate on the strategy regarding the promotions on marketing? Do we have to cease or postpone promotions for a certain time or a period? Will reducing promotion eliminates a kind of spike in terms of volume, which the supply chain cannot handle? What do you think about this? I think these questions will be addressed to the gentleman here. It's regarding whether we should still promote our products during this pandemic. So any of the gentlemen here would like to answer this question?
Okay, so regarding to the promotion, your product during this pandemic, I think we should keep promoting so people still remember your product. Some of the people, some of the business is unsuccess because when the pandemic is there, they give up. So when they give up doing the promotion, they give up to contact the customer, and then end up after the pandemic, then they lost their customer. So I think yes, you can resize your budget during the promotion to the small, but then you need to have another way to promote. It's not talking about the promote when the pandemic is there, you cannot sell your product. You cannot do it, but maybe you can say that okay, you can remind them. Maybe you can send to them about the information of product, and then it's just say hello to them. It's how are you? Our restaurant is currently is not open. Probably is another 1 month. So please, when we open, you keep build the relation with the customer, because when you lost your customer, it's not too easy to get back your customer. So I think yes, the promotion need to be there.
Okay, thank you, Pak Rico, for the answer. So we need to still promote, but resize according to the situation, because we have to still build these relations with your customer. Pak Miftah, I believe you are still with us, Pak Miftah. Hello, Dr. Miftah. So maybe you can add some things about this promoting. I'm sure that the Ministry of Trade is the core of promoting Indonesian products. So gimana Pak? How do we promote products in this situation? Do we stop, or maybe you agree with Pak Rico to resize? Silakan Bapak.
Thank you for the question. In general, there are three unstoppable trends now and for future. The first is healthy or healthcare. Second one is sustainability, and the third one is digitalization. Yeah. For the digitalization, I think it is relevant with the question before, as mentioned before, including for the promotions. That's why Ministry of Trade, yeah, we have some breakthrough for the promotion. Yeah, the first one, of course, we have a trade representative around the world, including in Hanoi. Here, join also Mr. Iqbal, a trade attaché. We encourage them to have a virtual business matching, yeah, to maintain the awareness of the Indonesian product, to maintain the intensify the Indonesian promotion product. And also in Indonesia, actually, it has been growth. Many aggregator that actually they digital based, yeah, like Gurita, and then made in Indonesia, and also IDN store. This startup is established for assisting Indonesian enterprise, Indonesian product to be promoted in the export countries, like IDN store. Yes, IDN store is still focused for the East Asia, like Taiwan, Hong Kong, China, and also Japan. But in the future, the IDN store will expand the market not only for the East Asia. And also we have aggregator and also promotion channel, Gurita, and also made in Indonesia. So this startup, this marketplace, this e-commerce can be optimized by Indonesian product to promote the product through this startup or this marketplace. And also we have a virtual showroom, Bu Soneta. We have virtual showroom not only for the certain event, but will be maintained day by day. We can update every day the product of Indonesian to promote at that marketplace in the virtual showroom. The virtual showroom, of course, will be managed by Ministry of Trade and also by Indonesia Chamber of Commerce. So, in the uncertain condition during the pandemic, Ministry of Trade have some breakthrough to engage with the digitalization. Thank you, Bu Sanit.
Baik, terima kasih Dr. Miftah Farid for the answer. So it is clear now for us that during the pandemic we cannot then stop the promotion. So we have to find ways, breakthroughs, as Pak Miftah had mentioned here, through using digitalization methods, utilizing startups like IDN Store and other platforms, also virtual forums to promote products of Indonesia. And it coincides or it correlates, and it is the same as what Pak Rico had mentioned, that we cannot stop promoting. Ms. Tan An, I believe you do want to say something. Maybe you can share your views on promoting this from the Vietnamese side, please.
Regarding to the trade promotion, we not only emphasize on promoting export from Vietnam, but we also connect and import the products from other countries. So if you would like to access to the Vietnam market, I think there are some activities, for example, the trade shows, the trade exhibitions in Vietnam. You can participate in the food expo or the Vietnam expo. Through that way, you can access and meet directly the customers. And through the trade show, you also meet some of like, for the Vietnamese exporters, they need to import some materials or they need to look for the partners in the supply chain. So I think that's a good method for you to access or to penetrate any market. And for the trade shows that I told, right now, it has been organized through the virtual for this year, 2021, and for the next year is also the combination between the offline one and the online one. Besides that, besides the specialized trade shows, the Indonesian companies, or especially the one who already invested in Vietnam, can participate in provincial trade shows. For example, every year through the national trade promotion programs, we support and we promote for the trade shows in key provinces, for example, Ho Chi Minh City or Mekong Deltas or in the northern area of Vietnam. So by participating in that, you can access to provincial markets of Vietnam. And the next one, as the Mr. Mutapra Farid already said, that's the business matching events. Through the business matching events, I think you can meet the relevant partners. Right now, this will be organized frequently without the limitation of the border of the time because we have the virtual one. I think that although the virtual one is not as very effective as the offline one, but it is like the introduction and it keeps continuation of the trade promotion activities for the business. So during this time, we can meet together. And then by next year or in the future, when the situation is better, we can meet each other directly. And in terms of the business matching events, the Viettrade and as well as other Vietnamese TPOs were willing to cooperate with the Indonesian partners to organize the events. And the third one, we can cooperate to organize some of the conference to provide information, not only for the Vietnamese one, but also for the Indonesian companies who would like to sell, to buy, or to invest into Vietnam. So we have the information about that. I think that are three main activities we can do right now, trying to utilize the technology, the digital platform, and the new innovation in the technology.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Anne, for the elaborative answers to the questions posed just now. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is like an invitation from Viettrade from Vietnam to participate in trade shows that the Vietnamese organize next year in 2022, such as Vietnam Trade Exhibitions. So if I may know, Ms. Anne, could you please maybe give us an indication in what month of 2022 this exhibition will be held?
Yeah, normally the annual events will take place around by the middle of November. Normally middle of November every year, and for each year we have the honor country. The shows has been firstly organized in the year 2015, and it is the annual events. And for each year we have the one honor country with one honor pavilion, and year by year there are more increasing numbers of exhibitors as well as visitors and buyers join the events. But by last year we have the combination shows, and this year is a totally 100 virtual shows. But for next year, I think it will back to the traditional one, and we still add more advantage of technology. That means still have the virtual meeting. So we will send the information to the Indonesia Consulate General Trade Consular Trade Office in Ho Chi Minh City, or anyone you can decide to. And you can send, in my presentation, I have the email contact. You can send to us if you have any question, and we trying to send the information as soon as possible whenever we have for the next year. For this year, the time will be 10th of December, the virtual one, or the opening ceremony will be this 10th of December.
Okay, well noted, Ms. Anne. So every year, normally it is held at November, the middle of November. So maybe we can just all jot this in our agenda. I believe Pa Miftah here in the Ministry of Trade also took note on this. So maybe Pa, next year we can have like a business show. I mean, the Indonesian exporters, maybe you can bring a trade show to Vietnam in Ho Chi Minh City. Thank you.
Sorry. I saw a question about exhibition for furniture and handicraft. For the furniture and handicraft, we have the two ones. What I'm talking about is the food expo, because I recognize that. I suppose that most of the Indonesian company care about the food processing industry. Regarding the furniture and handicrafts, we have the two shows. The first in April, we call the VFA. That is the exporting. That is the exporting shows. That means we mainly emphasize on the foreign importers, and we invite a lot of the foreign investors from European countries, from the United States, and from other parts of the world to join the show. That is the biggest one. And the second in October, that will be the flexibility in time, October and November. That's the shows emphasize on the domestic needs. That meaning that if you participate in the shows, that will be for your target is the domestic consuming.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Ann, for the additional information. So our Consulate General in Ho Chi Minh City and also the Embassy of Indonesia in Hanoi and the Trade Attaché in Hanoi will take note on this and further inform relevant institutions in Indonesia for these trade shows that you have mentioned, the Food and Beverage Show in Vietnam Trade Exhibition, and also for the furniture, which will be held in April and October next year. So maybe later we will coordinate with Viet Trade and receive more information about this. Terima kasih. Thank you very much, Pak Miftah and Ms. Am. So I will move on to the next questions. We have another questions here in the chat box, and I see someone raising hand. But before that, let me remind you that if from the audience who are Vietnamese would like to post questions in Vietnam, please do so. Do not hesitate. We have a translator here that can translate the Vietnamese, or either way, Indonesian to Vietnam and Vietnam to Indonesian. So let me just give a moment or a chance for Ibu Mega Sihombing. I see her raising hand. Please, Ibu Mega, if you would like to pose your question now.
Thank you, Bu Sodeta. You can hear me, right? Okay. So, actually, I want to ask to the three handsome entrepreneurs now. Hello. So, regarding about the restaurant, I mean, I'm living in Ho Chi Minh now. So, there's any plan to open or expand to another city, or you just only want to open in Ho Chi Minh? Do you have any plans, to open in other city? Can you hear me?
Okay, terima kasih Ibu Mega. Thank you, Pak Mega.
Okay, you're welcome.
Question whether you would like to expand your businesses to other cities aside of Ho Chi Minh. In Vietnam, of course, Vietnam has a lot of provinces, so maybe,
I answer on behalf of them. I think so, and I will do it also.
That's very good, Pa. A very good answer. So it proves the spirit, yeah, Pa. We cannot just stay still. We have to expand.
As our brothers here is what you call tourism, because tourism now, as the message from Mas Menteri, that culinary is going to be lead in the tourism and hospitality industry. Thank you.
Okay, berarti sudah jelas ya Ibu Mega. So just wait for the moment when these three handsome gentlemen will expand their culinary throughout Vietnam. And I hope that you also encourage other businessmen, Indonesian businessmen, either in Indonesia or Ibu Mega herself. Maybe if you would like to start business in culinary, Bu, I believe you can cook very well. So
No,
yeah,
They open the share.
no,
Indo and Kwangon Bali will open the share also.
no. I think I keep with my. Working in the business fashion retail. So I'm not good in the cooking.
okay. So
Thank you.
other audience here would like to join them, they are inviting you. And please remember that Pa Denny and his Indonesian food village is still open for further collaboration from both sides, Vietnamese and Indonesians. All right, so we have another question here at the chat box. Let me read it out. It seems that Vietnam continues to depend heavily on raw input from China or South Korea, also some ASEAN countries. Meanwhile, in Indonesia, we are more encouraged to focus on downstreaming our products to be exported to other countries, including Vietnam. Can you recommend what kind of value-added product from Indonesia that may be considered by Vietnam to be imported from us, and in a way can also contribute to boost our two-way trade volume? So this is addressed to Miss Anne. Miss Anne, are you still with us? I hope the question is quite clear. So please.
Yeah, thank you for the question. I think that's also the same efforts, not only in Indonesia but also in Vietnam right now. The trend we try not to be independent on limited sources of material supplying. In Vietnam, we also try to utilize our materials. For example, in the furniture industry, we import the hardwood mainly from European countries, from the United States, and even from some of the South America countries. And for other, we also import, like for the cashew nuts we plant in Vietnam, but we also import from the Africas. Meaning that for the in terms of the agricultural products, we export a lot of the processing agricultural ones. So we also import, for example, the seafood we also import from India, we also import from Indonesia. Right now, we mainly import from Indonesia some products like the corn, animals, vegetable fats, and oils, automobiles, steel, and other common metals, meaning that we still import the materials from Indonesia. Even right now we import a lot of. I think Mr. Farid can confirm about the figure. The coconut oil, we import the coconut oil a lot from Indonesia for the processing, because I think the plantation in Vietnam right now cannot meet the demand for exporting producing. So we import a lot. And I think in the future, our government also encourage the manufacturers, not only the domestic manufacturers, but also the foreign investment, especially in field of the food processing industries, try to produce, to improve the value of the products. That means, as you say, that means add more value added to the final ones for consuming in the domestic market and for exporting. So I think there are very potential rooms for Indonesia companies, for Indonesia products to import or to join to the Vietnam supply chain.
Oh, all right, thank you. Sorry, thank you very much, Miss Anne, for the answer. So maybe you could just name one product that is the most interested or that have the most opportunities, value-added products from Indonesia. I mean, not just raw materials, but products that are value-added. Can you just name, maybe from your opinion, what is the most potential product from Indonesia that have the greatest opportunities to come out to enter Vietnam market?
I think right now the oils in term of the consuming products, the oil has been in Indonesia. We also import from Malaysia, but also the Indonesia. And for some of the food processing products, if you go into the supermarket, Vietnam have the 100 million consumers. And if you go into the supermarket right now, we can see a lot of the food and the processing foods from Indonesia. I think that's a lot. That is the room for Indonesia to come in beside other products material.
Okay, thank you. So this again underlies and highlight that processed food and beverage, right, in the culinary. So actually, we have here also a product here, if I may. I don't want to say the brand of the product, but we have like an Indonesian candy here at this hotel here. So this proves that Indonesians F&B has a lot of potentials to enter the Vietnamese market. I'm sure, Pak Farid, maybe you want to add anything about this.
Yeah, I agree actually with Miss An. No country can avoid the dependency from other country, because we are in the collaboration era, including with Vietnam. And based on my analysis, at least there are 10 untapped potential remaining, as mentioned before in my presentation. If we talk about the oil, like Miss Anne mentioned before, and I think oil means palm oil, because Miss Anne mentioned about the Malaysia, and I'm sure that is palm oil. Untapped potential from the derivative product based palm oil is so huge, around 428 million US dollar, including at the product including cooking oil, cosmetics, including soap, shampoo, and many others, as a sector from the fast-moving consumer good. So if we can contribute more in the sectors, in the derivative product based palm oil, at least we can unleash the potential by 50%. We can increase our export around 200 million US. So this is not a small money, but it's so huge. And as you know, that the palm oil sectors and also derivative of the palm oil can absorb the labor. So many smallholders also engage with the palm oil farmers. I think at least if we can emphasize or optimize the palm oil and fraction, we can increase the export of Indonesia to Vietnam. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Pak Miftah, Dr. Miftah Farid, for the additional information. So oil, ya Pak, derivative products from oil, such as cooking oil, from palm oil, right, Pak? Derivative products from palm oil, such as cooking oil, cosmetics, shampoo, fast-moving consumer goods products have huge potentials. And interesting is that you mentioned that if we can increase this potentials in this palm oil sector derivative products, then we can increase our export until 50% from the current state. So then we can actually achieve the target. We have a target here between Indonesia and Vietnam to achieve a bilateral trade of 10 billion US dollars. So I think we can even exceed the target if we can. Both countries would concentrate on each potential potential of each country's products to exports or imports. Okay, terima kasih banyak. Thank you very much, Miss Anne, also for answering the questions. Okay, we'll have one last question here before I see the time is ticking. So maybe this would be the last questions that I will read from the chat box. So here is, I'm from Warna Tasku company. Okay, now this might be addressed to Miss Anne. So I want to ask the Vietnam government's concern about the bag industry. How can our products, Indonesian bag products, enter the Vietnamese market? So it's a specific product, Miss Anne, so maybe you have some insights on this.
The bag meaning the plastic one? You clearly the bag? Oh, sorry. The bag mean
I think it's like a handbag.
the handbag. The handbag that's mean for like eating handicraft, make of the bamboo. I mean that what are the material or the leather?
Yeah, I think so. So, but if the person who had posed this question maybe could identify him or herself in the screen and elaborate more. If not, then maybe I assume that this is like a handbag.
Maybe from the leather or bamboo.
Yeah, maybe handicraft.
Yeah. For the handicraft, I think although Indonesia and Vietnam, we also have the likable products, but they are not identical. First, and we mainly export to other countries. For example, the Japan markets, and then for the handicraft, mainly to the Japan markets. But in Vietnam, if the handicraft handbag export to Vietnam, I think there's still a niche market for the consumers. First, the Vietnamese people who would like to enjoy, like you can advertise the handbag through, like they have enjoyed the atmosphere or the feeling of going to Bali, trying to enjoy like a different stage of another cultures. And the second, if you export handbag to Vietnam, the handicraft you can sell to the foreign tourism who pay the tourists or the holidays in Vietnam. And for the handicraft, I don't, for the handicraft handbag, I don't think there is any restriction on the Vietnamese government. For the for the leather ones, I will send the answer later on because I'm not sure about that. For example, if you export in terms of the huge volume or just in a limited quantities, or you do the OEM, ODM, for example. So I will send the answer later on for more detail.
Okay, thank you very much, Miss Anne, for the answers. Okay, so I think I have already answered all the questions here raised through the chat box. Wait just one moment. Oh, one more question. Is there any chance to meet Vietnam company importer in offline exhibition? I think that has been already elaborated with Ms. An's information on trade exhibitions. So I think that's about it on the chat box. Before I close this session and return the mic to the MC, maybe I would like to invite the Consul General. Maybe you would like to add anything else.
Thank you, Ibu Soneta. Perhaps just like to thank Dr. Mifta Farid, also Babu Trihan for your participation in this webinar, and certainly to all the colleagues in the room, Pak Arif from Filason, Pak Riko from Vindo, also Pak Danny from Bakmi. I think all the speakers have provided us with very useful and beneficial information, and I was listening very carefully to the discussion. It's been very productive, and certainly the potential between Indonesia and Vietnam is certainly promising, and the targets that both governments between Indonesia and Vietnam has targeted to reach 10 billion US dollar by 2023 can perhaps be achieved more faster than its target. So once again, I'd like to thank all the speakers. You've been very insightful and indeed promising to all of us during this discussion, and I wish you all the success. And to all the participants in this webinar, we do hope that you continue to also be present at tomorrow's session, because tomorrow will also be an interesting session. We'll be focusing on the digital economy sector. Thank you once again. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Pak Konjen, Pak Konsul General. So, ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the conclusion of the second session, as well as the end of the day one webinar. So I do hope that you all have gained more knowledge on business opportunity updates from Indonesia and Vietnam, as well as lessons learned from the culinary sector. So I would like to also express my gratitude to all speakers that have been participating, and all to participants and audience that are here today. And with that, I now hand over this session to the Master of Ceremony. Mas Adi, silakan.
Thank you, Ibu Soneta. Such an enlightening session, Ibu, especially for those who are interested in leveling up their business, and also for those who are seeking for more potential business opportunities in culinary industry as part of the creative industry. Here in Vietnam, particularly in Ho Chi Minh City as the economic heart of Vietnam and the main hub of the southern region. And we have come to the end of the first day of this webinar. However, I would like to remind you yet again that this webinar is not over yet. Tomorrow, we will commence the discussion with two more panels. The first one will be regarding the opportunities and challenges in digital economy, and the other panel on the financing and to support the SMEs and startups. Thank you everyone for participation. We will see you again tomorrow. Thank you, terima kasih, sin kamon.
Dari mana jantung hati saya, jantung hati Tuhan ada di kampung baru. Caca marica hey hey, caca marica hey hey, caca marica ada di kampung baru. Caca marica hey hey, caca marica hey hey, caca marica ada di kampung baru. Ayah mama cuma para beta, dia cuma pegang beta. Ayah mama cuma para beta, lah orang muda punya biasa, lah orang muda punya biasa, lah orang muda punya biasa. Kaki baris putarlah ke kanan, ke kanan, ke kanan, ke kanan, dan ke kanan, ke kanan, ke kanan, ke kanan, manis. Sa Jojo, Yumanan, oh bisa papa rasa mula-mula gigi. Sa mula-mula gigi, sa mula-mula gigi, sa mula-mula gigi. Jayu, sampai, jayu, jayu, sampai. Lisa,